Boom, shaka, laka, boom. It's a FAFO Friday. That's an F around and find out if you're with your kids, if you're with your preacher, if you're with your grandparents or your elder parents. The F stands for fool around and find out. Later tonight, you're hanging out with your girls, your boys, you're having a couple cold adult beverages. It can convert to a four-letter word. If you know, you know. Good morning, everybody. I'm here in the studio solo this morning. My partner in crime, Mr. Sean Yurkron, had court today. He's a lawyer, so he's not in court. He's not the defendant. He's the defender. Anyway, Sean's in court today, so y'all are stuck with me. We're going to have a good time. I actually did a bunch of show prep last night, so I'm prepared for 2 full hours of live radio right here on 103.9 FM. WYAB. Of course, we're streaming worldwide at WYAB.com as well as the TuneIn app and Alexa. Just search WYAB. If you miss any of that, look, I implore y'all to do this, man. If you've got a free hand, if you're not driving, if you are waiting to get to a red light, pull up your phone. Pull your phone out, especially if you got an Apple. Go to the little purple icon there. It says podcast. Click on that. Type in my name, Clay Edwards, and add the word show to the end of it. Clay Edwards Show. And hit that subscribe button. And boom, you're signed up for the podcast. It's just that dang simple. If you use Spotify, any of the other apps, by all means, do the same thing there. Amazon Music, Audible, it's everywhere. Everywhere. Man, let's get those subscribers up. And you'll get a notification every time we upload a show, which is by 10 a.m. every day. I cut it up into clips, so if we get a really fire segment that you want to share with a buddy, it's easy to find. You don't have to listen to the whole show to find it. I clip them up, I put them in there, and boom. It's just that simple, man. You help me grow. If you ain't growing, you're dying. We'll make sure we're growing this show. And we are. We are. All the numbers suggest that we are growing the show, but I want to keep on. Let's see here. Guns and Gear text line, 769-241-1944. Mazda of Jackson phone line, 601-879-0002. Oh, it's somebody just texted in and said it's click follow. So click follow in the podcast app when I search your name. Yes, follow. I'm sorry. I thought it said subscribe. Follow. So thank you for doing that, by the way. Let's see here. It's a FAFO Friday. My birthday is tomorrow. I'll be 47 years young. It's going to be the last time my birthday falls on a Saturday night till I'm 53 years old again. So I'm going to go out tomorrow night, and I'm going to act like I'm 27. One last time. Well, I'm lying. It's not going to be one last time, but it'll be one last time that I do it on my birthday that's on a Saturday night. So we're going to get out. We're going to have fun. I got my boy Jason, my full-time Uber driver. I said, how much will it cost to just get you for the whole night? From 6 p.m. to 3 a.m.-ish. He told me a number. I said, sold. Sold. I'm not telling everybody where we're going because I don't know where we're going. There's a good chance that if you have a tavern, a bar, whatever, we don't have any clubs here, but if you have an establishment that has loud music, pretty girls, and cold drinks in Rankin or Madison County, you're probably going to see us there. I want to hit as many places as possible to see as many people as possible. But in honor of that, yes, because I normally throw myself a big shindig. I just decided that I didn't feel like doing it this year. But I am running a sale over at my website, buyfafo.com. If you like my FAFO shirts, if you want a Vote Felon shirt, everything's marked down to $20. I got 2 or 3 caps left, 3 or 4 flags. Would love to see all that stuff go. Working on a new logo, new design, going to be ready here next week. Hopefully, I talked to my graphic designer last night. So I'm trying to sell out what we got. And, of course, it'll still be available. You know, we'll keep some supplies. This FAFO shirt's been so successful. It ain't going nowhere. We're going to keep selling them. But anyway, $20 across the board. You just got to use the promo code CLAY47. No spaces. Just Clay and the number 47 behind it. And boom. You unlock a $10 discount on every item in the shop. And that way you're getting something and you're helping support this movement. It's a win-win for all of us. Speaking of FAFO, I get here this morning. I missed this somehow or another. I went to bed early last night. I got a good night's sleep, man. A good, solid 7 straight, uninterrupted hours. But I tell you what, I woke up this morning. I could tell my testosterone was pumping through my veins. We'll just say that. Whew. I am not suffering from low T anymore. All right. So I log on to the computer, and, man, this whole FAFO movement started because of Mayor Jake Wyndham in Pearl. It was a sad situation which started it. It was that police chase that ended with a mailman being killed, unfortunately. But it had started in Pearl and it ended in Jackson. But it was the mayor's press conference the next day that really took this thing and amplified it up to what it's become now. And I know we didn't invent the phrase FAFO, but we have definitely took ownership of it. Mayor Jake said they were running back to the criminal safe haven of Jackson, Mississippi. I tell you, if Jake ever passes away, I'm going to etch that in his tombstone one way or another. They were running back to the criminal safe haven of Jackson, Mississippi. And every now and then, you get one stupid enough that runs from the criminal safe haven of Jackson, Mississippi to Pearl. And anytime that happens, ring the bell, ding, ding, ding. We got us a brand new effed around and found out grand champion. And my friends, I present to you this morning's effed around and found out grand champion. Let's go over to WLBT for the details.
Arrested a man following a high-speed chase that ended in Pearl. This exclusive video here of officers leaving the scene after taking the man into custody on Knight Road, which is off of Sweet Home Church Road, south of I-20. Capitol Police say they had tried to stop 38-year-old Jabori Knight in Jackson, but he would not pull over. Now that he's in custody, he's being charged with felony fleeing. Pearl Police assisted with that pursuit.
So in case you missed that, the pursuit started in Jacktown by Capitol Police. Now, look, if Capitol Police was pursuing me, I'd probably try to get out of Jackson too, just to be fair. But I don't know that I would have gone to Rankin County. I mean, rarely do the blue lights go east. Do the pursuits go east? So, what was the dude's name? Jabori? How many vowels are in that name? Two. You got a U and an O. Jabori Knight, 38 years old. 38 years old, running from the popo. Man, you old enough to know better. Still too young to care. How about we do this one? I want to get this other one out of the way, too. We have another effed around and found out grand championship that we gave out yesterday. This time, it was to not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5. I sound like LeBron James counting imaginary championships, don't I? But 6. 6 effed around and found out grand championships were issued yesterday in one fell swoop. It's a beautiful thing when it happens like that. Let me pull my notes up here. I really like Dark Horse Press, but sometimes the stories get lost, and I can't find them. It's like, where did the link go? It's no longer when it moves off the front page. It's like, where did it go? I know I saved a bunch of links. Here we go. I got it right here. Now we talk about a certain crew of people whose names have a lot of vowels in them. You know, when we were in school, you were taught to say them in order. A-E-I-O-U. I stumbled across this on accident yesterday, but one of these FAFO champs' name has all 5 vowels in it in order. In order. I almost fell out of my chair. So let's tell you what these 6 future rocket scientists, engineers, and possibly even an astronaut or two before they got mistakenly sucked into a life of crime out in Madison County. Let me tell you what they got sucked into here. I'm just going to read a little story here. This is good stuff. This is the foundation this show is built on. And look, we got a bunch of Trump stuff to talk about today. I also ran a way too early poll to see who you guys liked for governor. We got a bunch of stuff, but it's a FAFO Friday, so we're going to FAFO here for a minute. Madison and Rankin County DA Bubba Bramlett Jr. announced 6 teenagers had pled guilty in connection with an attempted carjacking in Ridgeland. Of course, you can go to darkhorsepressnow.com or go to my Facebook page, Save Jackson, and see all 6 of their photos. They're doing all they can to feed straight into the stereotype. All they can. The individuals, 19-year-old Ahmad Lampkin, 14. 14-year-old, individual, 19-year-old Ahmad Lampkin. They got this kind of messed up a little bit. You can't be 14 and 19. Quaterius Huff, 16-year-old Pernell Moore, 17-year-old Braylon Cooper, 14-year-old Tristan Burns, and 16-year-old, here's the name with all 5 vowels in order, Camarius Huff, entered their plea deals before Judge Dewey Arthur in Madison County Circuit Court. Here's where it gets good. And yeah, there's an old saying, you can't hide money, you can't hide stupid either. These boys couldn't hide their stupid. On December 31st, 2023, that's New Year's Eve, for the people in the back, the group left a hotel on Ridgewood Road. See, what had happened was they didn't know that County Line Road actually meant County Line Road, and they tried to do their dirt on the north side of County Line Road, and that's when the finding out part of effing around and finding out happened. So they were at the hotel on Ridgewood Road. They walked through the at-home parking lot on the County Line Road, planning to carjack someone. They arrived at the Ridgeland Ranch Apartments and confronted a man, looking into his car, threatening him with a handgun, and taking his keys. However, and this happens more often than not. I've actually had to read the same thing more than once here in the last few months. The kids couldn't figure out how to start the car once they carjacked it. Y'all remember that white family that got shot at right in the middle of the damn driveway in South Jackson or somewhere in Jackson last month? It was a big old story around here, went nuclear viral. They carjacked them and they couldn't figure out how to work the push button start, so they stole their other car. Same energy here. Same energy. Or either that or it was a stick shift. Anyway, the Ridgeland Police Department quickly located the 4 suspects in the North Park area. Investigators linked the teens to the crime, get this, through fingerprints, surveillance footage, and video found on a cell phone showing the group joking about the carjacking while displaying the gun. They was doing it for the gram, y'all. They was carjacking them for the gram and videoed themselves doing it. Now, the first part of that, let's see here. What did it say? Through fingerprints and surveillance footage. That's police work. Somebody was doing some dang police work. Now, this is why I called the cops on those thugs the other night in the Slim Chickens parking lot playing with their guns, with their toy guns. I ain't know they was toy guns. It could have been this bunch here. No remorse. No remorse at all. You know, I probably saved them boys' lives. You know, some dude pull up, see people pointing guns at each other, flips out, runs them over, kills them, whatever. Man, they had guns pointing them at each other. I thought I was saving somebody's life. I probably saved that person's life from going to jail. Anyway, that's your effed around and found out grand champions here on a Friday morning. You want to call in the Mazda Jackson phone line, 601-879-0002. The Guns and Gear text line, 601-879. No, I got all that backwards. The Mazda Jackson phone line, 601-879-0002. The Guns and Gear text line, 769-241-1944. We'll be right back. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show here on 103.9 FM WYAB. Hey, real quick, guys, we're out looking for lunch today. How about in Gluckstadt area? You want some pizza? Johnny's Pizza House. Do you want some delicious food that is one of a kind? Well, Johnny's Pizza House, a beloved institution rooted in the heart of Louisiana, isn't just a place to grab a slice. It's a slice of Louisiana life. That's right. A slice of Louisiana life. Johnny's has your favorites, but also they're your destination for something unique. You could try the Hog Heaven, the Maui Wowie, the Mighty Meaty. How about the Sweep the Swamp or the Sweep the Kitchen? They got it all. Keto crowd, they got something for you too. You can turn every pizza into a crustless pizza and enjoy it as a pizza bowl. And hey, look, that sounds fantabulous. Hey, they got sandwiches too. They got lunch specials. Try the muffaletta. You can get the quarter muffaletta for lunch with a side, with the best bag of chips and a drink for only $5.99. You want some pizza for lunch? Who doesn't want pizza for lunch? Starting as low as $6.99, you can get any one-topping pizza and a medium drink or pizza bowl for just $6.99 and up. Check them out today, located right there in front of the Mack Hike dealerships in Gluckstadt. Johnny's Pizza House. I've had it, man. It is so good. We go to my buddy Corey's house over there in Gluckstadt every now and then, and we'll order some pizza, and that's where we get it from when we're out that way. So we can't go wrong. Let's see here, man. Where do we want to start? Why don't we button up some of this Angelique Lee stuff? I've got a lot of mileage out of that. wlbt has done got their investigative stuff cranked up, and they're starting to really peel the onion back like we have for a while. And I'm not knocking them. They have a whole different way they have to do it before they can make accusations or claims or allegedly. They can't do allegedlys. We can. I tell you what, before we do that, I think we got Mr. Dixon calling in on the Mazda Jackson phone line. Let's hear from Mr. Dixon real quick. Hey, brother.
Brother Clay, how you doing?
Man, I'm doing good. How are you?
All right, look, just called to wish you tomorrow a happy and blessed birthday and many, many more. Stay blessed, man.
Amen, brother. Thank you.
All right.
Good times. Always a blessing to hear from Mr. Dixon. All right, let's go to WLBT. The title of this video is More Details Emerge About the Bribery Scheme Involving Former Jackson City Councilwoman. This is, as far as I know, this is the first time mainstream media here in Jackson are connecting the dots between Jody Owens, Hinds County DA, and Angelique Lee.
24 hours since former Jackson City Councilwoman Angelique Lee pleaded guilty in federal court. We're learning more about the federal bribery investigation that led to that plea and who else could be implicated. Well, 3 on Your Side confirms tonight that Hinds County District Attorney Jody Owens is also tied to this bribery investigation involving Lee, according to law enforcement sources and court proceedings. A 3 on Your Side investigation earlier this year tied Owens to meetings with developers from Nashville pushing a convention center hotel. Lee's conviction rested mostly on developers from Nashville offering her bribes in exchange for voting to approve the convention center hotel plan. Now, those developers were actually FBI agents. We also learned in court that Lee's home was raided the same day federal agents descended on Owens' cigar bar and DA's office. Owens attorney Rob McDuff says district attorneys are allowed to own real estate in addition to their elected position. He said in part, 2 gentlemen who claimed they were successful large-scale developers with their own development company raised with him the possibility of building a convention center hotel in Jackson. He believed them and after multiple conversations agreed to help them. It turns out they were.
So
it's Tillman's Tillmanopoly.
So allegedly, he's the one that set them up with the city council people and told them what each one would need to be bribed. I mean, that's the way I've read all this. People are asking us. Steve just texted in on the Guns and Gear text line and says, Nino Brown, a.k.a. the mayor, said the mayor will probably get out of jail time. I don't think so. And let me explain why. Some people are talking about how do you implicate the mayor? Well, I assume they've got video and all sorts of stuff, but let's just pretend they don't. How they get the mayor is the mayor has to take this thing and take this RFQ or whatever it's called. So the city council people are being bribed for their yes votes. All right. Well, the mayor has to bring the topic to the council to vote on. The council people can't decide that they want to do this and vote for it. The mayor has to bring it to them to do. So what do you do? How do you, where does the mayor fit in on this? Well, you bribe the mayor to pick your plan, to pick this developer. There was multiple developers. There were developers here right in town with arguably better plans. Definitely a track record of actually doing business here already. But you pick this one kind of random one from out of nowhere to do it. So, or we're going to. So that's where the mayor's involved. And I hope I'm kind of dumbing that down enough, because it had to be dumbed down to that level for me to understand it too. Because this is not what I do. But that's how the mayor's involved, presumably, if he is, which I think he is. I'm 99.9% sure, but let me throw an allegedly out there to protect myself in the radio station. But if they get him, that's how they're going to get him. But they could absolutely have videos. There's all sorts of rumors and innuendo going on, things that we've heard. I've heard some things from people who claim they saw it themselves. But until it all comes out in the wash, you don't know what's true, what's not. But everything has been true and right to date. And it came to light 2 days ago with Angelique Lee's debacle. I'm going to regret this. Let's see what John has to say about this, or not. I don't know if I'm in the mood to argue with people today that want to try to polish a turd and somehow. And that's the other thing too. So we post this information about all this Jackson corruption, because that's the main reason I started this whole thing, was to expose Jackson corruption and to show y'all that these black for a living Democrats in Jackson are using politics as a form of reparations. I call it reparations politics. They're fattening their own pockets at the expense of everybody and at the demise of the city. And they're laughing all the way to the bank. Man, I think Chokwe is the shining example of all that. And now we have proof that some others, like Angelique Lee, is an example of that. They're a bunch of do-nothing Democrats who are doing nothing but fattening their own pockets while everybody else suffers underneath them. And, of course, because I'm white and they're black, there's a bunch of idiots that run to their defense. Right on my Instagram this morning, somebody said, I mean, they can't help themselves. They're just a bunch of non-playable characters, NPC bots, as we call them. Why don't you make a post about Brett Favre and Phil Bryant getting arrested? Well, they hadn't been arrested. They ain't been charged with nothing. They may. We'll see. And I mean, honestly, I don't know that I'll cover it on my Instagram when they do. There's plenty of other mainstream media outlets around here that have been chomping at the bit to cover it. I'm here to cover Democrats behaving badly. Now, the radio show is a little different deal. We got a lot more time to talk. We can air through things. But on my social media, that's there just to make y'all mad. I'm that troll. I'm there to make y'all mad. It's called Save Jackson. The radio show is called The Clay Edwards Show. I'll talk about whatever I want here. The internet, where it's called Save Jackson, it's about saving Jackson from y'all. Or saving ourselves from you, however you want to look at it. So it's just funny. They're so hardwired to self-destruct that all they can do is think, yeah, but what about the white guys that did wrong? Never mind that I post. I call it an indictment. It's a bill of whatever. But for the sake of argument, I post the indictment on there. This is the federal. This is what she has agreed and signed that she did. It's all the evidence in the world. And her guilty plea. This ain't speculation and innuendo. And all people can do in the comments is, but what about Phil Bryant and Brett Favre? Imagine being so ate up that you're defending somebody who's profiting off your demise. I'm speechless for a second here. I'm just thinking about that. I'm like, I just can't imagine. It's like being in a relationship with an abuser that throws you a breadcrumb every now and then, and you think they're a good person. Absolute idiots. Absolute idiots. Hey, tonight, you out looking for somewhere to eat, man. Pizza. Let's talk about, we'll start and finish the segment talking about pizza. Acme Pizza and Daiquiris, Phantom Mart on the res. Get over there today. Well, tonight, they're open 4 p.m. to midnight. They got 12 different specialty pizzas, 9 different frozen daiquiris. It's all available for dine-in, carry-out, and delivery. That's right. You can get the daiquiris delivered or carry them out. They got just the right amount of alcohol that makes it legal for them to do it. So that's, if you want to know how, that's how. And, of course, all the pizza, the crust, everything made from scratch daily. If you get the pig, or any of the pizza with pulled pork, the pulled pork is smoked on site. The bacon and ham is cooked from raw on the pizza, so it's not overcooked and burned, and that grease gets down in that cheese. Anyway, get over there tonight. Acme Pizza and Daiquiri, Phantom Art on the Res, located directly in front of the bowling alley. We'll be right back on the Clay Edwards Show. So, let me find this text here. It was a good one. Somebody had texted in, Daniel texted in on the Gunziger text line, and I'd had a brain fart there. I couldn't remember the word I was looking for. Stockholm Syndrome. Jacksonians are suffering from Stockholm Syndrome. And just FYI for the people who do not know the definition, it's a psychological condition that occurs when a victim identifies with and empathizes with their captor or abuser and their goals. That's Jacksonians and their black for a living politicians, the ruling class in Jackson. That's why they dangle that racism carrot out there on everything, because they feel like that's something all black folks can relate to is racism. It don't matter if I'm getting rich, but I'm defending you against the big bad wolf of racism. Isn't your life better now? Idiots. Let's see here. We got another video here. I want to kind of ride this out a little bit. Look, I'm going to dance on the grave of these Jackson politicians when they get themselves in trouble. I'm going to dance on their graves. I'll tell you what, that caller, stay on hold. This is more Stockholm Syndrome sufferers right here in a story from WLBT. People from Ward 2, Angelique Lee's ward, just in shock and disbelief that Miss Angelique had gone and got herself in trouble. But it's okay. They think she's a good person, and it shows a lot about her character that she went on and pled.
Right company was picked for the council to then approve. When we asked whether the city would want to comment on if Jackson Mayor Chokwe Antar Lumumba was involved in this bribery investigation, spokesperson Melissa Faith Payne said simply, no thanks. Our Valicia Gavin continues our team coverage after speaking with some of you living in Ward 2 about your feelings about Lee's resignation. Valicia?
Yes, CJ, shocked and disappointed were two words many residents used to describe their initial reaction when they first heard the news about former councilwoman Angelique Lee. They told me they respect Lee and the work that she's done in her ward and throughout the entire city.
What work has she done? She told everybody that the Red Lobster was just closed for remodeling, that it was going to open back up. We told y'all that was a lie then. And that's just one of the many stupid things. What did she do? Name one thing good she did. I'll wait.
When I first heard the breaking news that came on, and I'm like, this is so unfortunate.
Former Jackson City Councilwoman Angelique Lee pleaded guilty in federal court Wednesday to one count of conspiracy to commit bribery. Many residents tell They're on Your Side they respect her for this decision.
I think that speaks a lot of her character to come forward and say that, hey, I made a mistake.
So this is Jeffrey Taylor, president of Ward 2 Homeowners Association presidents. It speaks, you're right, it does speak a lot of her character, her lack of it.
According to Ward 2 residents, Lee was very active in the ward and often worked closely with them. They add that everyone makes mistakes, and this situation should not erase all the good Lee did, not only for her ward, but the city as a whole.
One of the biggest things that I appreciate about her is that she reached out to us to get input and feedback, to know what we thought and what we felt about different issues.
City council members will meet soon to set a date for a special election to fill the vacant seat. As residents express their disappointment to lose such a respected representative, they hope the next representative will continue to push the ward in a positive direction.
I'm praying that the Lord would raise up a servant that will serve this community and serve them well. Be open to our needs, be out front for us to ensure that our community continues to not only, survive, but, and thrive, but to move forward.
Yes, thrive and move forward do, in fact, mean the same thing. Let's take a call here on the Mazda Jackson phone line. Good morning. You're on there.
Good morning, Clay. It's good to listen to your program this morning. I must say this is actually my, I think maybe first time just earnestly listening to your program. The first time I encountered you was more than likely on social media via, say, Jackson, and I don't necessarily engage with that platform at all. But I do believe that there is a deficit of platforms for us to discuss serious political issues, especially something as serious as an elected official being corrupt and being indicted by the feds. So I appreciate this platform as an outlet for that.
And pleading guilty, by the way. She wasn't just indicted, she pled guilty. Day one.
Pleading guilty, absolutely, absolutely. You know what? You know, I'm going to tune in more often, but I will say I agree with you when I agree with you. And I agree with you that it's a deep issue in Jackson, and that the people in various areas of Jackson are attempting to model this entire city after people like a Angelique Lee, like a Chokwe Lumumba, shiny, empty suits. You know, Ward 2 has an entire western half of it that is rife and absolutely empty, you know, as far as development, but that should have been her drumbeat. And aside from developing the western half of Ward 2, getting her constituents sidewalks and proper street lighting, that should have been her drumbeat. And the issue that I see in Jackson is they're more concerned about prestige than actually political benefits.
Hey,
you know, we're not elected these people for our neighborhoods to just languish and, you know, become dilapidated while they look good.
Yeah, you know, I'm glad you brought that up. Great phone call, by the way. I appreciate your input here. The prestige thing, you hit the nail on the head there, because I think if you'll go back and look at the items that she's having to give the feds back that she spent with that money, it shows exactly that. It shows that she was more concerned with portraying an image of success than actually being successful. Because when you're actually successful, you don't have to portray being successful. People know you're successful.
And the thing is, Clay, this is the most insidious part about it. The insinuation that there's only one way to be successful here. You know, you can only be successful here if you want to aspire to be one of those Gucci wearers, one of the Christian Louboutin wearers, one of the, brand new suit every other week wearers like Mr. Chokwe. I don't aspire to that. I come from Verdant Addition. I was raised in Verdant Addition. My family moved into Verdant Addition over 100 years ago from the Tougaloo community. We built this city in a large part contributing to it, and I feel rooted here. So I am successful because I can live a successful life here. I don't have to aspire to those things, and I think that is a huge problem in Ward 2. Ward 2 is a community filled with formerly professional class, college-educated people, and they selected Angelique because she fits that mold. It's not that she came to serve. They didn't care about any particular priorities. She served the image, and that was good enough, and that's a problem.
Man,
you know, it's an empty suit.
This has been one of the best phone calls. Look, do you have my text number?
No, I don't.
Write this down or type it in your phone real quick. Shoot me a text. I'd like to continue our conversation.
I got you.
It's 769-241-1944. I'd love to have you back on the show, but I got to take my break.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Yeah, text me your name.
Will do.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Fantastic call right there. We need more of that. This is the Clay Edwards Show. We'll be right back. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show. I want to play something here to finish off the first hour. If Chokwe Antar Lumumba is nothing else, he's the king of lack of self-awareness. This is Chokwe announcing a conference in San Juan, Puerto Rico on ethics, transparency, and compliance. You can't make this up. Do we have an extradition agreement with Puerto Rico? Is he going down there to find somewhere to live?
8th International Conference in San Juan.
All right, it's got started.
I am Chokwe Lumumba, mayor of the city of Jackson, Mississippi. I want to take a moment to announce the Experiencia Puerto Rico 9th International Conference in San Juan and express my appreciation for the unwavering support of our mayors. To my fellow mayors, your dedication, and hard work are the reason we are witnessing the necessary changes across our cities. Thank you. I want to congratulate Mickey Espada and the great mayors of Puerto Rico for hosting the Experience of Puerto Rico 9th International Conference in San Juan. This amazing conference builds collaboration amongst mayors from Latin America and the United States, in turn supporting families across every community. I would also like to extend my gratitude to the U.S. Mayoral Roundtable and my good friend George Burciaga for always supporting our mayors and inspiring us through incredible work within technology. This conference in San Juan, Puerto Rico, will undoubtedly serve as an incredible platform for exchanging ideas and creating change. This event, themed Ethics, Transparency, and Compliance, is supported by the National League of Cities and the Puerto Rico Chamber of Commerce. Thank you, everyone. And don't forget to visit the City with Soul, Jackson, Mississippi,
where your soul will be rested in peace. Man, you can't make this stuff up. I guarantee you it's all mayors from these blue third world hellholes like Jackson. I'm sure Memphis is there, Baton Rouge is there, probably Canton, Vicksburg. Where's some more? I'm sure I'm forgetting. New Orleans. Can't forget New Orleans. Birmingham's got some rough spots too, doesn't it? All of them. I'm sure they're going to be down there whining, dining, doing shots of tequila, talking about Chokwe, I'm coming for your murder capital of the world title next year, buddy. All right, we'll be right back in 7 minutes. Boom goes le dynamite. You tuned in to Hour 2 of the most incendiary show on the radio. This is the Clay Edwards Show. We're very inclusive here. Everybody's welcome to the Clay Edwards Show. I want to thank everybody that's tuned in this morning, that tunes in every morning. It's fun, man. It's fun. I enjoy doing this. I hope y'all enjoy what we give you guys. I just think that there's an outlet like this was needed in the mornings. Kim Wade been holding the torch in the afternoons, and he has been the standard bearer for so long in this town on talk radio, especially conservative talk. So shout out to the radio strongman out there this morning. Shout out to Kingfish. Kingfish has been holding it down on the print side, or I call it print, the digital side, for years and years and years. There probably wouldn't be a Clay Edwards Show if it wasn't for a JacksonJambalaya.com. Definitely drew a lot of inspiration from his snarky style. It was like, hey, that'll work on a website. I bet it'll work on the radio. It does. Anyway, good stuff. Hey, if you're out riding around this morning, you're hungry, you're out in the Livingston area, stop by Martin's Market. That's right, Martin's Market right there in front of Martin's at Livingston, the town of Livingston. Full-service gas station. They got fresh, made from scratch, hand-battered, Southern-style chicken biscuits. All the biscuits are made from scratch, the whole 9 yards, made fresh daily. Sausage and biscuits as well. Stop by there, grab you some, fill up with gas. Go ahead, get your coolers iced down for the weekend. Whatever you got to get, they got it, and so much more. They're not just a little gas station. They're a market. Big difference. And, hey, if you're there at lunchtime, scuffle on inside, shuffle on inside like Joe Biden, one foot in front of the other. Sit down and grab one of their great plate lunches. It's fried chicken Friday at Martin's downtown. Of course, the entire menu at Martin's downtown and Livingston, the entire menu is available at both locations 7 days a week. Get over there. Football's going to be starting soon. Go ahead and start getting to Martin's early on Saturdays and Sundays. Enjoy your favorite games. They'll be on all the big screens. They got the patio so you can go outside and smoke if you need to. All that good stuff. Martin's downtown. And here in a minute, we got a brand new sponsor. I'm really excited about this. 4 years into this thing, finally got a liquor store sponsor. That's right. Wine 042 right there on Highway 80 in Brandon. Conveniently enough, it's where I've been shopping since they opened. And they reached out and wanted to support the show, wanted our audience to know they were there. So we're going to be telling you about Wine 042 here in a few minutes. Really excited about that. Locally owned, locally operated, massive, huge selection of all your favorite wines, liquors, and more. I'm a simple man. I drink beer and Fireball. So I don't have a wide selection of great bourbons to tell you about in my house, but I like my beer and I like my Fireball. It's simple. I know exactly how much it takes to get to where I want to be, and that's it. But we're going to tell you about Wino42 here in a minute. Good stuff. Let's read some Guns and Gear texts. You guys have been on it this morning. And we also got that poll from that way too soon governor's poll that I did on my Facebook page last night. If y'all want to go check that out, we'll just kind of read through some of the people's picks. Let's see here. Somebody asked me, Spartacus asked me, was I going to be going to Last Call for my birthday? And no, I will not be going to Last Call. He said, what about Pelican Cove? We may very well stop by Pelican Cove. Let's see here. Let's open up the text machine this morning. Again, man, Anthony called in a minute ago. Anthony Moore, great phone call. Really is, man. We're going to try to get him on the show here soon. David says, Clay, you were right. Memphis spent almost $50,000 on recruiting trip to Puerto Rico. Who is surprised? Hope they enjoyed their vacation. Would like to see the itinerary. Spend $13,566 on hotel rooms. How long were they there? Must have been some really hard work. Only 300 attended and not one person hired. $50,000 could have gone to better things. Who signed off on this? Well, it's how they continue to hustle us. Or y'all, people who live in these Democrat metropolitan areas. They go and they do these conferences. These are just free vacations paid for by the taxpayer. The audacity. Must have found some on discount at the Big Lots. The audacity for these mayors, especially this mayor right here in Jacktown, to be going and spending 10, 15, 20, 40, 50, whatever it costs, thousands of dollars, when the red lights don't even work right. That should be a crime. That should be a felony. To have stuff that doesn't work and you're taking trips to others. You can't get on a 3-way call, a Zoom call, and have that conference. None of y'all going to do anything. You're just going down there looking for new and creative ways to blame all your problems on racism. We're done. People are done with that. I know y'all got some low information voters that you can continue to bring that crap back to and sell it to them. But the decision makers, the adults in the room, are done with it. And you're going to find out here real soon when they catch Chokwe on TV, and Jody Owens too, doing that brand new dance. It's the hottest dance, sweeping across TikTok. It's called Doing the Perp Walk. I posted a picture of Chokwe on. I used him and a picture of Jody to make my thumbnail for my video on YouTube yesterday. Found Chokwe standing in front of a big orange backdrop, and it said, we're all orange, or we all wear orange, or something like that. I was like, oh, it's so fitting, because he's going to be wearing orange when he goes to prison. So he's trying to get a vibe for how he looks up against a bunch of orange. The audacity. That's just the word. That's all I can think of. Audacity. Got all this going on, and you're going to do that. Let's take a call here on the Mazda Jackson phone line. Hey, you're on there.
Hey, it's Freddie K.
Hey.
Hey, man. I don't know if I've heard this defense yet, but in these situations, a lot of times, the defense attorneys and defendants will say that the feds created the crime. There wouldn't have been a crime if the feds hadn't created it, but that defense has been shut down so many times. There's so many precedents of that being shut down. I hope they don't try to use that argument. Have you heard any of them try to say that yet?
Wait, say that again.
And there are situations like this, maybe from the mob or drug dealers or something, or something like the DEA approaching somebody as a pretend like they're a big drug dealer and looking for money launderers and that kind of stuff. But a lot of times the defense attorneys and the defendants will say that there would have been no crime if the feds had not created the crime, and they try to use that as a defense. But there's so many precedents to shut that down, so I don't know if we'll hear that from any of these defendants or not. Have you heard anybody, Angelique Lee or anybody say that, saying that there would not have been a crime if the feds had not created it?
I don't think the feds created it. I think that there was something else put out there, and the feds took advantage of it. They threw the criminals threw the bait in the pond, and the feds were the fish that nibbled on it.
Oh, okay. Let's see. I thought it was the opposite. Okay, well that makes sense. That makes sense why they're not arguing that. Because a lot of times they'll be like, well, the feds created the crime. If they hadn't done it, this never would have happened, and try to throw it back on them. But That makes sense. Makes sense. Appreciate it, brother.
Thanks, Teddy. If what I heard yesterday is true, and I'm not going to get into it because it's big, it's very heavy, but I'm just going to say this. Every now and then, the enemy comes from within. We'll just say that. We'll see how all that shakes out. And by the way, I completely butchered something. It is 042 Wine and Spirits. I've been calling it 042 Wine, just like my name for it. It's 042 Wine and Spirits. It's right there on Highway 80 next to Sonny's Barbecue and down in Brandon in 042. 042 Wine and Spirits. Thank you, Chad, for texting in there on the Guns and Gear text line and correcting me there. I just, the way the sign looks, it says Wine 042 Spirits. Anyway, I goofed it. 042 Wine and Spirits. But yeah, we're going to tell you more about them here in a minute. Thank you so much for that. Let's see here. Continuing on with the Guns and Gear text here. Let's see here. Brent just wanted to compliment what a great phone call that was from Anthony there. Yeah, somebody texted in and said, what your guy's trying to explain is entrapment. Yes. Entrapment's what he's trying to explain. But do not believe it was entrapment. Also, Sean went into it pretty detailed yesterday. He's never seen anybody actually get off trying to use the entrapment defense. It's like, yeah, but you took the money. You spent the money. You knew what the money was for. And I use kind of the flip side to it, more extreme. But like, say people think you're a hitman. And they're like, so we're going to pay you $10,000 to go kill somebody. And you agree to do it, and then you just go do it. You still did it. It makes sense? Yes, it does to me. I think entrapment, Sean said this too, entrapment's more one of those things you see in movies. It's not like real life. Yes, I know that the Whitmer, the Whitmer thing, they did entrap some guys into that. Some guys got off, some guys didn't. So kind of interesting deal there. Let's see here. Unknown texter, let's party it up abroad while traffic lights and potholes are in disarray. This is the problem with these political bums. Justin says, the last call was just a testament to your hard work. Good job. Changing haters' hearts and minds one at a time. Well, if you do this long enough and you stay consistent and you stay true to who you are, people will start to turn. Inevitably, I didn't do this because I was making up what's going on in Jackson. I did this because these things are really going on in Jackson and around the country for that matter. Now, I'm not making this stuff up. This is what I see with my own eyes. And the longer people get a chance to sit back and see the same things, you eventually get tired of it. I was one of these people. Now, I never defended these politicians here. I've always thought they were idiots. But I defended Jackson all the way. Especially when I was a business owner, I had a vested interest in defending it. And I understand why business owners get mad at me for doing what I do, kind of like the Anti-Tourism and Conventioners Bureau. But I just report the news that's already out there. I just do it in my own unique way. Like, rarely am I getting a story. And we did it here with the Chokwe and with the Angelique Lee stuff and a few stories like this. But, like the crime and murder and violence and all the stuff you see on the nightly news, I just get that from WLBT. I mean, just like everybody else, I got an app on my phone. I get a notification every time WLBT sends something out. To me, WLBT replaced. Do I agree with everything they do? No, I don't. But there's some good people that work over there. I like Anthony Warren. I like C.J. LeMasters, Brandon Walker. I wish he was back on my TV, doing the weather. But he's doing sales and stuff. Love Brandon. There's some good people over there, and I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody. I just don't always agree with some of the stuff they put on social media, but I do it too. So it is what it is. They don't agree with everything I do, but I have a healthy dose of respect for a bunch of them folks over there. When C.J. LeMasters decides to sink his teeth into something, he sees it through. And we need more journalists out there like C.J. And now C.J. is on this Jody thing and is connecting the dots. So we'll see where that lands. Let's take a call here real quick. Not sure who this is. Hey, you're on there.
Hey, Clay, it's Carrie.
Hey, Carrie.
Just wanted to wish you an early happy birthday and keep on trucking.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Y'all stay safe out there.
You got a great week. Thank you.
You too.
Bye-bye.
All right, good stuff there on the Mazda Jackson phone line. Let's see here. Just kind of reading through the text here. Unknown texter said, didn't Satan use entrapment on Adam and Eve? They didn't have to eat the fruit, but they did anyway. And then they were found out by God. Then they made excuses. They knew not to eat, but it was too tempting not to eat. Man, what a great text there. Thank you for that. I just want to run through. I want to change topics when we come back, so I'm just trying to clear the deck on all this stuff that we're hitting right now. Make sure I'm not missing anybody's text. One last text from Spartacus. He says Ashley Garner is a great anchor on WLBT. She is. Ashley does good work. Is Ashley the one that does that midday live stream on Facebook? I think that's Ashley. Yeah, I enjoy that. So Frisco says Chokwe going to Puerto Rico for a mayor's conference to get away from the feds. We ask, is he? So that would seem very likely to me. Unknown texter, the wimpy shrimpy pizza at Acme is the bomb. Mike says, I guarantee the FBI has all video, wiretaps, cell records, and things you can't think of as evidence. They don't halfway anything. If you're arrested by the FBI, you are screwed. Yeah, there's an old saying, and I didn't make this up. I learned this from Sean or Kim Wade, maybe. I think I learned it from Kim Wade. If the FBI wants to arrest you, they'll find a crime. They will find a crime. And like we discussed Monday, we had Mike Hurst in here. Usually, the thing that the FBI can get everybody on is in that first interview when you lie to the FBI. Lying to the FBI is, in fact, a federal offense. If you say, I didn't do it, and they have proof that you did it, you just caught another felony. So it's a tough world out there, man. All right. When we come back, we're shifting gears. We got a bunch of Trump stuff I want to get into. I want to get into this governor's poll. Trump was on fire. I don't know if y'all watched his press conference yesterday. It was one for the record books. We got a bunch of video from it, a bunch of sound clips. We're going to have a little bit of fun to take it home on a FAFO Friday here on WYAB. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show. Guys, also, of course, if you're out car shopping this weekend, looking for a good pre-owned vehicle, get down to Mercy House Auto Center right there in Crystal Springs, Mississippi. They specialize in vehicles in that $10,000 to $20,000 price range. They're going to get you rolling at Mercy House Auto Center. Don't forget, also, if you got a vehicle you want to donate, they are a 501(c) charitable organization. It funds their Mercy House Adult and Teen Challenge Drug Rehabilitation Center down in Georgetown, Mississippi, which helps put fathers back in homes and beat addiction. You can't beat that. You can't beat that. So if you got a vehicle you want to donate, running or not, as long as you got a clear title, they'll come pick it up, get it out your driveway, off your property, whatever the case may be, and you're going to get a tax write-off for doing so. So you're going to do good, and it's going to benefit you. Where I'm from, that's called a win-win. A win-win. Win X2. So holler at them today, mercyhouseautocenter.com. Business owners, you got an old fleet of vehicles that's kind of ran their course. You don't feel like trying to sell them to the marketplace maniacs and the Craigslist crazies or not getting anything for them on trade-in at whoever you bought your new fleet of vehicles from. Donate them. Use that money as a tax write-off. You'll probably get more for it. Be worth more to you at the end of the year than trading them in. MercyHouseAutoCenter.com. Man, before we shift gears, I was just looking at something. Y'all know I've been on a hell or high water fitness journey since July 11th. I said, I am damned and determined. I'm going to get to 250 by my birthday, which is tomorrow. Now, it looks like I'm going to come up about 5 pounds short. I still got a day. You know, I can lose a pound or two, but let's just say I'm at 255. I was just looking at a picture from that day and this morning, and if it wasn't my head on my body, I would not think I was the same person. Now, the picture this morning was in my underwear, so I'm not going to post it on Facebook. I mean, I guess I could. It's boxers. It doesn't really matter, but neither here nor there. I'm not going to post it. But, man, I tell you what, hard work pays off. You know, a little dedication, hard work, watching what I put in my mouth. Slow down, drastically slowed down on the drinking for the last 5 weeks. Really, really proud. I went to the mall yesterday. Went out there to Renaissance, and I bought a pair of new jeans out at the Buckle. A 36. I was at a 44. I'm at a 36. Now, I wasn't at a 44 5 weeks ago. I was at like a 40, but started this journey at like a 44. Never ever thought I'd be in a 36. So anyway, that's the best 80, 90, 100 bucks, whatever I spent on those jeans. I couldn't give them my money quick enough. Like, yeah, take it. Take it. It always feels good when you're buying a smaller size, not a bigger size, unless your goal is, of course, to gain weight. So anyway, my point being, if you're out there, you're struggling with your weight, find whatever it is, whatever makes you tick, whatever motivation you need, and sink into it, bite into it. You know, I've said forever, the greatest steroid for a man, the greatest motivation for a man, is going through a breakup he didn't want to go through. Because then you got to look good again. You got to prove folks wrong. Look what you lost. You know, so feeling good about myself right now. Feeling good about myself. Let's see here. All right, shifting gears. President Trump, man. So first off, there's some rumors going around on X. I mean, this got me fired up last night. I was ready to run through a brick wall last night. I'm mad about this. And I know I was going to start with the governor's poll, but I'm going to get to it before we get out of here. Now, I don't know who Tom Saruga is. Apparently, he is a investor, a board member, big data pioneer, intel ops, CIA, NSA contractor, whistleblower, philanthropist. You know, he's got almost 200,000 followers, but this hasn't been debunked. There is no reader's notes saying this isn't true. Community notes on X saying this isn't true. And this post has been seen by 3.4 million people. It says multiple high-level sources have stated that New York City Department of Corrections are making arrangements for Donald J. Trump's arrival at Rikers Island in September. Then he says President Trump will 100% be sentenced to prison on September 18th. I've been telling y'all that. He says, I'm told the sentence will be for 1 year, but we'll see. The Marxist judge could change the sentencing at the last minute, but he is definitely sentencing President Trump to at least 1 year. Rikers Island already has special accommodations ready. This is 2 months before the election. Guys, I'm going to tell y'all something. I don't know if what I'm about to say is even legal or if it'll come back to haunt me later on, but YOLO. Ride or die here. We ride or die for Trump. We ride at midnight. I'll be working my way north. If they do that, we'll be working our way north. Or better yet, I may just go to Jackson and take it out on every single Jacksonian that voted for Joe Biden. This is what y'all want. It's what you're going to get. Be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for. I wish they would lock Trump up. I wish they would. Just so they can see. They think January 6th was an insurrection. You lock Trump up and find out what happens. You're going to find out who's got the most guns, who's got the most ammo, who's got the most toys, missile launchers, grenades, who's got the most noisemakers. Put me on a list, FBI. I know y'all are listening. I don't fly anyway. I don't like planes. I saw Chokwe on a plane one time. No, I'm kidding. But look, all seriousness, all joking aside. Was I joking? I keep telling y'all, they're going to lock Trump up. We haven't gotten to the crazy part of all this yet. They tried killing him so they wouldn't have to lock him up because they know what's going to happen when they lock him up. But they're going to lock him up. Anybody want to bet me they don't? I don't know if it's legal to take bets on the radio, but fictitiously, monopoly money, $100. They're going to lock Trump up. They're going to lock Chokwe up. Only one of them deserves to be in jail. And it ain't Trump. They're going to tear this country apart further than any of us could have ever imagined. I don't know if you call it civil war, civil conflict, blood in the streets. But it's going to be. That's what they want. They're probably going to get it. They're probably going to get it. The Mazda Jackson phone line is 601-879-0002. What do you guys think about this? This new report coming out says they're going to sentence Trump to a year in prison. Guns and Gear text line 769-241-1944. Speaking of Trump, he had a press conference yesterday. And there was one thing he said that I really like. You know, a lot of people are trying to push this narrative that Trump just needs to stay on topic. Just talk about Kamala's record. Don't attack her personally. And I say to hell with that. Kamala's a whore. Let's call her out for being a whore. There shouldn't be any kids in the car. Let's listen to Trump. He says, the reporter asked, many of your allies say you need to stop with the personal attacks on Kamala. Trump says, well, I'm very angry at her because she's done to the country, for what she's done to the country. I think I'm entitled to personal attacks. I don't have a lot of respect for her. God dang, I love this man.
Many of your allies who want you to win in November say your current strategy isn't working, that you need to stop with the personal attacks on Kamala Harris and deliver a more disciplined message. Do you agree? And also, you added more people to your campaign today. Yeah. Is that a sign of a shifting strategy?
No, I think it's a sign of we want to close it out. We have great people. Susie is fantastic, as you know, and Chris is fantastic. They're leading it. Corey Lewandowski's coming in. He'll be, personal envoy, or he'll be at some level. They're going to be, they're doing a great job. Look, we've taken, with all of the abuse we've taken from the fake news media, all of this horrific abuse we take, and all I want to do is make the country good. All I want to do is have strong borders and good education. We want to have choice for education. So important. So many different things. You would think it would be the other way. We rebuilt the military. We did so many great things. But that's the way it's been for Republicans, and I guess more so for me than anybody in history, and that's okay. Because we're leading in the polls. For the most part, we're leading in the polls. We were leading Biden by a lot. We're leading now, but I think when she's exposed, I think we're going to beat her by a lot more than we would have beaten Biden by, because he had a little group of people that have been voting for him for a long time. She doesn't have that. People don't know who she is. As far as the personal attacks, her, because of what she's done to the country, I'm very angry at her that she'd weaponized the justice system against me and other people. Very angry at her.
That's what Shad White's doing to Brett Favre and company, just weaponizing the justice system.
I think I'm entitled to personal attacks. I don't have a lot of respect for her. I don't have a lot of respect for her intelligence, and I think she'll be a terrible president. And I think it's very important that we win. And whether the personal attacks are good, bad, I mean, she certainly attacks me personally. She actually called me weird. He's weird. It was just a soundbite. And she called J.D. and I weird. He's not weird. He was a great student at Yale. He went to Ohio State, graduated in 2 years.
She's a cackling prostitute. She is weird. She is weird. Let's see. Somebody did text in on the Guns and Gear text line and said civil disobedience is the word I was looking for. Thank you. Thank you. It's, definitely, it's not civil war. We're not going to have battling militaries. There's only one military. We're not going to have battling militaries. I guess we could. I guess technically the National Guards could go after each other. I don't know. I don't know what civil war looks like in 2024. It ain't North versus South. It's neighbor versus neighbor. It's Brandon versus Jackson. Oh, Brad Franklin, Kamikaze, sells those shirts that say Jackson versus everybody. I think he's more right than he knows, because if it pops off, it's gonna be everybody pissed off at Jackson and their terrible voting habits and the people they support, and they're going to be the closest ones to be able to take our anger out on. It's going to be Jackson versus everybody. But in reality, it's actually Jackson versus Jackson. You can just sit back and just let street justice do what it's been doing for the last 10 years. Just don't go to the gas stations, and you should, for the most part, remain unaffected. Let's take a break. Come back. I got a bunch more on this Trump stuff, and we're definitely going to get to the governor's poll that I ran on my Facebook page too. This is the Clay Edwards Show on a FAFO Friday here on WYAB. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show here live on WYAB. All right, man, I told you guys we had a new sponsor. I kind of let the cat out of the bag there talking about them, but let's talk about them for just a second here before we continue on. If you are out in the Brandon area, or if not, you just want to drive out to the Brandon area to do good business with good folks that support what we do, get out there now to 042 Wine and Spirits. It's located right next door to Sonny's Barbecue on Highway 80 in Brandon 042. I can't make it any plainer than that. It's right between the interstate and Cross Gates. You can't miss it. Nice little shopping center there. Get in there, see the crew. You'll recognize some faces when you get in there. I promise. Some old school bartenders from around town work there now at the liquor store. A girl I grew up with in the same neighborhood, Kim, has been working there for a while. These are good, knowledgeable folks that can answer any questions you have. Everybody knows Kevin. Kevin, famous bartender from around Jackson. He works there. What he did for me is a girl I was hanging out with wanted lemon drops. I didn't really know how to make a lemon drop, but he also had bartended at another bar she had a lemon drop at. So I got him to give me the recipe. You just don't get that everywhere. Like he was like, yeah, here's my recipe from there. Boom. She got lemon drops. That's the kind of service you get at 042 Wine and Spirits. Of course, they got a huge selection, bourbons, tequilas, wines. They got it all. Really. I'm not exaggerating. You can go find them on Facebook. Just go 042 Wine and Spirits. Let it pop up. See all the great stuff they have. And get out there. Enjoy your weekend. They have chilled stuff in the cooler and off the shelf. Ton of selection. Gosh dang, man. Remember back in the day, we used to ride over to Delta, Louisiana. I don't know if y'all did this. I used to love to do it. Ride over to Delta, Louisiana to the Chevron back around the holidays. We'd get lottery tickets back then. And, you know, they always had that liquor store there at the Chevron had the most liquor selection of anywhere. They always had the cool box sets. So you get, if you bought Jägermeister, you get some shot glasses with it, and like Crown, you'd get like the rocks glasses and stuff like that. They keep cool stuff like that in stock here. A big old selection. That's what it reminds me of when I walk in there. I'm not saying they have those exact things, but you get the point of what I'm saying here. Get over there, check them out. Let them know you heard it on the Clay Edwards Show. That's 042 Wine and Spirits. Going to have a lot more to start talking about these guys next week. They really don't start till next week, but I wanted to get on there today, going into the weekend, let you know about them, let you know that we partnered up with them. And if you're getting out there to buy some wine or liquor this weekend, support these great sponsors here at WYAB. Lindsay Beckham texts in and says, she goes, whoa, a liquor sponsor? Now that's my jam. Always picking at Lindsay. All right, let's see here. Let's go back. Well, while I got the page pulled up, now I want to play a little bit more Trump stuff. I'm not quite done talking about Trump. I just once you get started, it's hard to stop that Trump train, isn't it? Unknown texter on the Guns and Gear text line says they want to create civil unrest so they can do emergency orders and not hold an election or just stay in power. I don't know that they can they? I mean, I've heard people suggest that. Can they really stop an election from happening? Can they? I'm being serious, not facetious at all. I don't know. I mean, I guess they can do whatever they want to do. They locked all y'all up in your houses for 2 years in some areas, and you never came back out and cost you your jobs and told you had to get an experimental mRNA vaccine, for a lack of a better term. And everybody went and did it. So I guess they can do whatever they want to do. They take 2/3 of our paychecks to let illegal people in and give them money. I guess we've been their punks for a long time. Unknown texter. Trump is attacking her character now and is holding back the attacks on her record for the debate. If Trump gives away his attacks on her policies now, her campaign will have time to construct a BS response to defend his attacks at the debate. Somebody brought this up. I thought I maybe saved the clip, but I can't find it. There's not a single Trump voter from 2016 who's not still a Trump voter. I mean, other than Mike Madison. Mike Madison's not a Trump voter anymore. Trump has not lost any voters from 2016. We have enough voters to win. This is all they're doing, all this gaslighting they're doing. And I know other people have beat this into the ground, but I'm just going to say it because it's relevant. They're going to try their damnedest to steal this election. And they've got to make it as believable as possible. That's why you're seeing all these BS polls. Don't believe these polls. They're crap. When Trump's in the lead, don't believe them either. I know I said this the other day. They put Trump in the lead in the polls so they could get rid of Joe Biden. Then you mean to tell me that the second they replaced Joe Biden with the most unpopular vice president of all time, that now she's magic? She was still on the ticket previously too, by the way. So, I mean, she was on the ticket when Joe Biden was losing. So we're supposed to believe that Kamala Harris suddenly saw a 10-point swing. That's a lie. They want you to think she's this girl boss rock star and that it's believable that she can beat Trump. It is not believable. Now, yes, I understand there's a big wave of blue no matter who Democrats out there, Team D, because they love the D. But I refuse to believe that enough people are happy with where they're at in life right now, with what's going on in life, that they want 4 more years of the same thing. If she can make all these great changes, make them now, girl boss. Wave your magic wand now, girl boss. Girl power. Make all them changes. Make all those changes. You suddenly come out and you want to say no tax on tips. And this has been the big thing here lately, the tax on tips stuff. I mean, you voted, you were the deciding vote against this. And now you're for it? Girl boss? That's weird. You're weird. Your lies are weird. Tampon Tim, the guy out there beside you, he's weird. Putting tampons in boys' bathrooms is weird. I mean, where are they putting the tampons? Isn't that some type of, isn't that illegal in some states to stick things up your rear end? I think that's illegal here in Mississippi. That's weird. Men using tampons is weird. There's zero excuse for it. Other than, I don't want to take the show down this. This is something I need to put on the internet, not on the radio. When we come back, we're going to have just a few seconds. I'm going to hit the Facebook poll on the governor stuff. We threw one out there. You can go check it out on my Facebook at SaveJXN. We may end up having to get to it Monday. Whew, these people, man. I'm fired up, man. It's a good weekend coming upon us. My birthday. We had a great week of shows. Show's on fire. The whole station's on fire. WYAB's on fire. Y'all are on fire. The conservative movement is running down the tracks. Whether they lock Trump up or not, you can't stop the Trump train. Welcome back into the Clay Edwards Show. Let's jump straight to it. I did a poll on my Facebook page. I threw a couple people out there who are considering running for governor or whose names have been associated with governor. Delbert Hosemann, Lynn Fitch, Shad White, Gerard Gibert, and Andy Gibson. It looks like Andy Gibson. Now, I have to go through and I didn't do a traditional poll where you select one and it tells me how many. I just did the comments. I just read about 20 of them. Andy seems to be overwhelmingly in the lead. Out of 138 comments, like I said, I read through about 20 of them. Andy seems very popular. And surprisingly, Shad in second. And a lot of people do not like Delbert Hosemann. I don't think Delbert is wasting his time. There are quite a few mentions for Gerard Gibert. I don't think anybody said Lynn Fitch of the first 20 or so that I looked at. So I think you're looking at Andy Gibson, Shad White, And look, and I like Andy. I like Gerard Gibert on a personal level. I know Gerard, and I think he would be a very Trumpian-like governor for Mississippi. Just my opinion. He's a very successful businessman, and I think that's what we need. But I wouldn't be opposed to Andy either. And, of course, they're talking about Tommy Duff, I think is his name, one of the billionaire brothers. But he's Mormon. I don't know if that sells in Mississippi. It doesn't bother me at all, but I think it might bother Bubba, or at the yuck table. So we'll see. Again, we'll break it down further Monday and see what people think. I'll actually do a count on them and see who got what. We'll have a couple more days. I just posted this like 10 o'clock last night. So, all right, man, great show today. Thank you all. Thank you all for a big week of shows. I had a blast with you guys. Stay safe.